Hello everybody, welcome back to part 3 of chapter 10, Gravitation. This is from the CBSE class 9 NCERT book. My name is Avantika. I hope you have seen parts 1 and 2 before you come to this because we have covered quite a few topics there. And in this we are just going to be talking about buoyancy and Archimedes principle. So it is important that you see the previous ones in order for you to understand this. Also, I hope you keep your books open every time you watch you watch videos, because it's important for you to jot down notes along with the video, and just watching the video is not enough. So jotting down notes, writing some important points, or solving some examples, these are all things that you need to be doing. So please keep your books open along with this chapter. Okay. So this is what we have learned until now. We have learned that the universal law of gravitation states that the force of attraction between any two objects is proportional to the product of their masses and inversely proportional to the square of the distance between them. Right? F is equal to g mm upon d square. Law applies to objects anywhere in the universe. So every object in the universe attracts every other object in the universe with that force. Okay. Gravitation is a weak force unless large masses are involved. We have seen that, right? Because the value of capital G is really low. Therefore, the force of gravitation per se is really small. But if you have big masses, then you have a large force of gravitation. That is why planets are that is why you are attracted to the Earth, but you are not attracted through gravitation to some other person or to some other object, even though there is force of gravitation that is working on both of you. The force of gravity decreases with altitude. It also varies on the surface of the earth, being higher at the poles and lower at the equator. Okay, because the radius is smaller at the poles and radius is bigger at the equator, because earth is not a full sphere. It's not a perfect sphere. That is why g varies, but for our calculations most of the times we take g to be constant. Okay. An object in free fall without any other force acting on it, is always accelerated due to gravity g, small g, with the value of 9.8 meter per second squared. The weight of a body is the force with which the earth attracts it. We have seen the difference between mass and weight in the previous video, where mass remains constant and weight is the force with which the earth attracts it, which is equal to mg, right? F is equal to mg, but that F is equal to the mass of the that is equal to the weight of the of that object. And we know that weight varies from place to place, but the mass remains constant. Weight varies from place to place because the value of small g keeps on changing. If you go from one, for example, one celestial body to the other, then it will change. But on the planet, most of the times the weight remains the same, right? And we have also seen that, uh, okay, fine. Thrust is the force acting perpendicular to an object, right? So if this is the object, then any force acting in this direction or like this is thrust. Okay. Pressure is thrust per unit area. SI unit is Newton meter per second square, or Newton meters Newton per meter square, or Pascal. Okay. Larger the area on which the thrust acts, smaller is the pressure and smaller is the effect. And we have also seen the reason why big trucks or big buses or tanks have larger wheels, or tanks move on this chain, or why camels have big feet, or why you will sink in sand if you're standing on your 2 feet, but you will not sink if you are lying on your back. So all of these things can be explained by the last point, that the larger the area on which the thrust or force acts, smaller is the pressure and smaller is the effect. Smaller the area on which the thrust acts, larger the pressure, larger the effect. Okay, so I assume that you have understood all of this, and therefore I'm going to start moving forward. So we are going to be talking about pressure in fluids and the concept of buoyancy. Okay, you have to remember that when we talk about fluids, it is not just water or some kind of liquid, it is also gases. Liquids and gases, both are fluids. Okay, so while a solid exerts pressure on an object because of its weight, fluids also exert pressure on the base and walls of the container in which they are put. So while a solid will put pressure on an object, if it is kept on a table, it will put pressure in this direction. But if that same container has some gases or liquid, they put pressure on each side of the container. Okay, this pressure is exerted in all directions equally, right? It is not a solid will put pressure due to gravity downwards, or gravity is acting on it, that's why it is a downward acting force. But gases and liquids, they exert pressure in all directions. So if it is a three-dimensional, if you think of a cup, for example, in all directions the pressure, the water or the tea or the coffee that you have in the cup will be exerting pressure equally in all directions, on the bottom, on the walls of the container, right? So equally in all directions. Buoyancy is when objects feel lighter in water than they do outside. If you swim, you will have seen that you have a tendency to float, right? Or if you put something in water, for example, some heavy thing in water, you will see that when it is in water, it is easy for you to move it around, right? Or if you like washing something, or if you put a towel inside, a towel is a good example. If you put a towel inside water, it gets saturated with water. ऐसा नहीं है कि वो पानी में है तो इसमें पानी नहीं है इसलिए वो लाइट है, ऐसा नहीं ना, because if you put it in water it gets saturated with water, but it's easy to move that towel around while it is in water. But if you take it out, it becomes very heavy suddenly, right? So that force that allows the objects to feel lighter in air is called buoyancy, right? So like I said, in swimming you seem to float, or even ships are made to float. Ships have a lot of mass, right? They have a lot of mass and they also have a lot of weight, right? So ships are made in a way that increases the buoyancy, and therefore they are able to float. While drawing a mug out of a bucket or a bucket out of a well, it is lighter in water than in air. Even if you चलो towel का example नहीं दिया, but even if you take a mug out of water, you will realize that when you are pulling it from water, it is easy, but once it is out of water, it feels a bit more difficult, right? So this is an activity that is given in your book, that if you close the mouth of an empty plastic bottle, for example, if you have a cold drink ka bottle वगैरह, just it should be empty. Just close the mouth of that and it put it in water. It will float, right? If you push it down in the bucket, it is difficult to push that light bottle into water, especially with the lid closed. जब पानी अंदर नहीं जा रहा ना, then it is very difficult to push that light empty bottle into the water, and eventually it will come up. आप कितना भी उसको करो, it will eventually keep coming up. No matter how much you push it down, it will come up. Some upward force pushes the water bottle and increases until the object is fully immersed. So it will keep increasing from the surface until the bottle is fully immersed, right? And then it won't increase. It increases only uh, until it is fully immersed. एक बार वो bottle पूरी अंदर immerse हो गई पानी के, then you will have to exert the same amount of force to push it further down, right? But no increase in pressure. It is only from the point where you start to push it from the surface of the fluid until it is completely immersed in that fluid, that the force keeps on increasing. This is important to remember, that it increases only until it is fully immersed. Once it is fully immersed, then there is no increase in the force that is acting on it. Okay. So an object, you have to remember that even in water, like every other object, an object in water is pulled downward due to the force of gravity. There is a force that is acting downward, that is called gravity. But the water also exerts a force on the object in the upward direction, right? So what happens is, gravity is acting downward like this, and buoyancy is acting upward like this. So there are some objects in which the force of gravity is acting, seems to be acting higher. They have a higher weight, therefore they will sink down. Okay, and if they have a lower weight, then they will float up because the buoyancy will push them up. Okay, we will see this concept. in the following slides. When an object is put in water, if the upward force due to buoyancy is greater than the gravitational force, the object will float. Please remember, this is a simple logic है, net force है. Net force, if you are talking about, for example, uh, accelerating, if you're talking about uniform motion, remember you were talking about uniform motion. What is uniform motion? When there is no increase in speed or velocity. But uniform motion can be accelerated. Uniform motion can be accelerated, but the if the frictional force is acting in the opposite direction to the motion, to the direction of the motion, then what happens? The forces balance, and then there is no net increase in speed. There is no net force acting on an object. When there is no net force acting on the object, then the force, it is because the forces balance each other. In this case also, if the force of gravity is equal to the force of buoyancy, then the object will immerse to a certain level. And once the object, because I told you कि buoyancy का जो force है, it keeps increasing as the object is going down the surface of the water or of any fluid. Okay, so जैसे वो नीचे नीचे जा रहा है ना, then the buoyancy keeps on increasing. Increases until a certain level. For example, until the object is fully immersed. But it is also possible that even before the object is fully immersed, the buoyant force and the gravitational force balance each other. ठीक है? तो in that case, वो half immersed body will float on water, right? If right, so basic point kya hai? You have to balance the forces. We have spoken about balancing the forces a lot of times. You have to, in this case, you have to remember that the buoyant force increases as you push an object down. As an object goes down the surface of the water or of any fluid, the buoyant force keeps increasing until the object is fully immersed, right? And at whatever point that force of buoyancy balances the force of gravity, the object will start to float. ठीक है, जितना भी, यानी अगर हाफ ही गया, जैसे ये ऑब्जेक्ट है, दिस इज एन ऑब्जेक्ट दैट इज गोइंग डाउन, राइट, गोइंग डाउन लाइक दिस, इतना आके, इफ दिस इज द ऑब्जेक्ट, इतना वो फिल हो गया पानी से फिल नहीं हुआ, इतना पानी के अंदर आ गया, and then the force acting on this becomes equal to the gravitational force, then it will float like this. There could also be another object that will float completely on the surface because the buoyant force is higher than gravitational. वो नीचे ही आएगा नहीं, ठीक है? So this is a basic concept of floating and sinking. When an object is put in water, if the upward force due to buoyancy is greater than the gravitational force, then this object will not come down. ये जो object है यहाँ पे, I'll draw this again. If this object here, it will float on water if the buoyant force वो नीचे ही आएगा, and it will not cut through the surface of the fluid, simply because the force of buoyancy is greater than gravitational force. ठीक है? In some cases, of course, like I told you, it will sink down until the force of buoyancy equals gravitation, and then it will start to float. And in some cases where the force of gravity is much higher than the force of buoyancy, because force of buoyancy, as I told you, only increases until the object is fully immersed. अगर वो fully immersed होके भी force of gravitation is higher than the force of buoyancy, then the object will sink. ठीक है? So to keep an object completely immersed, the force of buoyancy should equal the gravitational force acting on the object. यानी एक ऑब्जेक्ट इमर्स हो गया पूरा, एंड आफ्टर इमर्शन एब्सोल्युटली हाईएस्ट अमाउंट ऑफ buoyant force उस पे एक्ट कर रहा है, उसके ऊपर there is no further buoyant force that can act on it because it is now completely immersed. If in this situation the gravity acting downwards and the buoyant force acting upward start to balance each other, then the object is completely immersed, but it will float. It will not sink to the bottom. So if not completely immersed, an additional force needs to be put, like with the empty bottle, and the force should be at least equal to the difference between the weight of the object and the upward force. Simple है understanding के लिए, it's a long sentence, so it is a bit difficult to understand. So what is the weight of the object? It is the force acting on the object due to gravity. So जब तक weight of the object, it is also possible that this object, this floating here, यहाँ जो first इसमें है, ये जो float कर रहा है, you want to push it down. So how much force will you put to push it down? The force that you will put to push it down is the difference between the buoyant force and the gravity. जब object यहाँ पे float कर रहा है ना, तब buoyant force is greater than gravity. Right? Buoyant force is greater than gravity. If you start to push it down, you are acting in the direction of gravity. So ये जो G है ना, इसके ऊपर आप force लगा रहे हो. So you will push it until a point where buoyant force equals the G plus F. You have to put this much additional pressure to push it down until it is completely immersed. Okay? उसको completely immerse करके रखने के लिए आपको इतना additional force gravity के direction में देना पड़ेगा, ताकि वो bottle या फिर जो object है that remains completely immersed. So buoyancy, since buoyancy is an upward force, it is called upthrust. What is thrust? Thrust acts perpendicular to the direction of the surface of the object. Upthrust is thrust that acts in the upward direction. Buoyancy always acts in the upward direction, always opposite to gravity. Magnitude, this is important to remember. Magnitude of buoyant force is directly proportional to the density of the fluid. Fluid की density से directly proportional है. What does this mean? More denser the object, denser the fluid, यानी पानी की एक specific density होती है. अगर an object which is able to sink in water, जब sink होगा water में, तब इसका मतलब क्या है? Gravitational force is higher than buoyant force, है ना, इसलिए वो sink हो गया नीचे, वो नीचे बैठ गया, because gravity उतना act कर रहा है कि buoyant force is unable to keep it up. But if there is a fluid that is denser than water, what is density? Mass per unit volume, mass per वॉल्यूम क्यूब, यूनिट वॉल्यूम यानी सेंटीमीटर क्यूब या मीटर क्यूब, जो भी होता है वॉल्यूम का जो भी यूनिट होता है, राइट. मास पर यूनिट वॉल्यूम इज डेंसिटी. जिस फ्लूइड का डेंसिटी इज हायर देन दैट ऑफ वाटर, फॉर एग्जांपल मर्क्यूरी, in that an object that was sinking in water will float because of buoyant force ज्यादा दे रहा है. So buoyancy is directly proportional to the density of the fluid, and buoyancy को इसका opposite क्या होगा? Buoyancy is related to the relative densities of the fluid and the object. We will talk about relative densities in the further slides. वो concept है आपको. तो आप relative density देखते हो object का in order to see whether it will float or it will sink. ठीक है? The relative density of the object as compared to that of the fluid will tell you whether an object will sink or float. Okay? So this is what we are going to be talking about. We put an iron nail and a piece of cork on water. हाँ? हमने पानी लिया, इक्वल पानी, इक्वल इसमें एक एक लीटर एक एक बीकर में डाल दिया. ओके, we put it in these containers. In one we put an iron nail and in one we put a piece of cork. Cork की ball वगैरह होती है ना. What will happen? This iron nail will fall down, it will sink to the bottom, whereas the cork will remain floating on water, right? So this is because the force of gravity, the weight is equal to the force acting on the object in the downward direction, right? The force with which the earth is attracting the object. So the weight of the object is so high, right, that it is greater than the buoyant force. Okay, and this is okay, and ये जो है इसका weight इसका इतना है कि ये I am telling you about weight first, we'll talk about densities आगे. इसका weight ऐसा है कि buoyant force acting on it is much larger than the force of gravity acting on it, so it will float, it will not even come, थोड़ा भी immerse नहीं होगा पानी में. ठीक है? There is also a difference of density. They could have the same mass, right, but they could be, one of the objects could be denser than the other. उसका मतलब क्या है? डेंसिटी क्या होती है? डेंसिटी इज द मास पर यूनिट वॉल्यूम. अगर दोनों का मास भी सेम है, if the mass is the same for both of them, if one of them has a higher volume, then the density decreases. है ना? Simple logic है ना? Density inversely proportional to volume. So when two objects that have the same mass can have different densities based on the volume they occupy. The higher the volume they occupy for the same mass, the lower density they have. And force, the whether or not an object sinks in water or floats on it is dependent on the density of the object. So it is not only dependent on the mass or the weight, it is also dependent on the volume which they occupy. Understand? So अगर ये जो है नेल, इसका मास एंड कॉर्क का मास सेम भी होता, देन कॉर्क is a very light substance. तो कॉर्क को उसी वेट का होने के लिए it needs to have a large volume. It will still float because it has a higher volume and therefore it has a lower density. Buoyancy depends on density. Okay. Upthrust or buoyant force is greater than the weight of the cork, so it floats. As I told you, this is greater than the weight of the cork, so it floats. And less upthrust or buoyant force is less than the weight of the object, like I told you here, therefore it sinks. But it is also dependent on the density. This is the density of the iron nail is greater than the density of the water. Water के density से iron nail का density is higher, therefore it will sink. And cork का जो density है is lower than the density of the water, therefore it will float. And density पे buoyant force dependent होता है. ठीक है? अगर higher density होना तो buoyant force is less. No. Let me rephrase that. Higher the density of the fluid. We are talking about two densities here, right? Density of the fluid, water, and we're talking about density of the object. This is rho. You know, rho is the symbol of density. So density of the fluid and density of the object. We are talking about relative densities. अगर fluid की density से object की density ज़्यादा है, then it will sink. अगर fluid की density से object की density कम है, then it will float. ठीक है? The same object that sinks in one fluid may float on another if the density of the second fluid is greater. Okay, for example, mercury है. Let's assume that there is an object, right, that is sinking to the bottom in water. ये water है, उसमें ये object sink हो गया because it is denser than water. And then there is another object that is floating. Sorry, this is the same object, but the fluid is different. This is mercury. Okay, this is water and this is mercury. So this same object जो H2O के ऊपर float कर रही है, जो H2O के अंदर sink कर रही है नीचे, will float on mercury. Why? Because the density of mercury is higher than that of water, and it is possible that density, इसमें कैसे, what we can say, density of water is less than the density of this object O, which is less than the density of mercury. इसलिए ये object which is denser than water is sinking in water but is less dense than mercury, इसलिए it is floating on mercury. Okay. Then we talk about Archimedes principle. So एक basic आप experiment करके देखिए कि if you have a stone tied to a thread, you hold it like this, ऐसे करके देखो आपके हाथ पे कितना pressure आ रहा है, and then you immerse the same in water. Just immerse it completely, because after a while आप कितना भी immerse करो, the buoyant force will remain the same. Just immerse it completely, and then you will see that थोड़ा सा आपको कम pressure लग रहा है, या फिर the string is not as stretched. You can do it with a spring balance also, but I'm sure none of you have spring balances at home. So this is, you will see, if you use a spring balance, you will see that इधर reading ज़्यादा होती है A के case में, and B के case में reading थोड़ी कम होती है. Okay. So this is basically buoyancy की वजह से. Elongation of the string or reading of the spring balance decreases when the stone is put in water. Obviously क्योंकि buoyant force act कर रहा है. पहले तो this was acting only on gravitation, gravity के force पे, and यहाँ पे अब पानी में डाला तो buoyant force भी act कर रहा है, तो net force acting is less. So अगर net force acting is less, then reading आपको कम आएगी. And there is no further change once it is completely immersed in water. We have discussed this. So elongation of the string or the spring reading is due to the weight of the stone. Weight of the stone reduces when it is put in water. समझ आया आपको? Weight is the force acting on an object due to its mass, है ना? मास की वजह से जो फोर्स उसको नीचे खींच रहा है उसको हम वेट कहते हैं. ठीक है, तो if that force which is pulling it down reduces because of the upward buoyant force, net force is less, है ना? पहले G था force acting, now it is G minus B. This is the buoyant force. So the net force reduces. If the net force reduces, the weight also reduces. So this is also important to remember that the weight of an object is less in a fluid. Okay. Now Archimedes principle क्या है? What is it? So what is the magnitude of buoyant force? Is it the same for all fluids for the same object? यानी हर different fluid के लिए same object के लिए same buoyant force होता है कि we have seen that कि ऐसा नहीं होता है. The denser the fluid, the more the buoyant force, right? And do all objects experience the same buoyant force? We know that they don't. We know that there are some objects that experience higher buoyant force depending on the density as compared to the fluid. है ना? So what Archimedes said was, Archimedes was a old scientist, a very old scientist. I mean, he used to live many years ago, that is why he's old. But he said that when a body is fully or partially immersed in a fluid, it experiences an upward force that is equal to the weight of the fluid displaced by it. This is important. What this is the magnitude of buoyant force. आपके book में ना this is only given in theory. Therefore, you don't have to go into great depth, but you have to remember Archimedes' principle. So when a body is immersed fully or partially in a fluid, it experiences upward force, and a magnitude of buoyant force is equal to the weight of the fluid displaced by it. If you put something in water, you will see that water rises. And if the water level was at the highest level that you could put, ekdam filled to the brim, if you put a stone in it, then water will splash out. है ना? Right? So this is what he means कि इसको जब buoyant force लगा, that is equal to the amount of fluid displaced by it. ठीक है, it experiences an upward force that is equal to the weight of fluid displaced by it, and this weight of fluid can be measured, है ना? If you measure this fluid का weight that comes down, collect कर लो इस पानी को, and then you see the weight of this fluid, then you will see what buoyant force was acting on the object. Apparently, Archimedes used this principle to find the purity of gold in the crown made for the king. Now, this is a very interesting story. So, what happens was कि Archimedes was sitting in a bathtub. Yeah, I think आपने story सुनी होगी. Archimedes was sitting in a bathtub and he was thinking about this problem. The crown, the king had come to him and he had said कि यार मेरे लिए ये crown बनाया है, but I assume and I want it to be of pure gold. पर मुझे ऐसे लगता है कि इसमें कुछ तो मिलावट है, ऐसे रूमर है. तो he said कि you find out whether or not this has some impurity in it. And how can you find the impurity in metal? अगर वो अच्छी तरह से alloy बन गया है, आप कैसे करोगे? उस टाइम तो वो सब अवेलेबल नहीं था, ये डिफरेंट मेथड्स की कितना 99% प्योरिटी है, ये वो है. अब हो गया है वो सारा, तब तो कुछ नहीं था. So he thought, अरे कैसे करूँ? And he was just sitting, he was contemplating in the bathtub. When he realized that he was sitting, as he went inside the water splashed out of the bathtub, right? And he realized कि उसने जितना displace किया, that was more than what something else displaced. So he decided, अरे he had a eureka moment. That is where the word eureka comes from, कि एकदम eureka moment हुआ. This was comes from Archimedes का. So apparently he ran around the town shouting eureka eureka, but I don't know how true that is. Anyway, so he decided, उसने क्या किया? He realized that the density of an object decides how much buoyant force acts on it, right? So he said that a metal or an alloy that is less dense will displace more water than a less dense one. Okay, do you understand? क्योंकि buoyant force acting, अब आपने cork का example आप याद रखो, that when you put a cork in water, because it is less dense than water, it floats up, which means there is a high value of buoyant force acting on it. ठीक है? So according to Archimedes principle, अगर buoyant force इतना ज़्यादा है, तो it is equal to the weight of fluid displaced by it. So the weight of fluid displaced by a less dense object is obviously greater because it is experiencing a higher amount of buoyant force. Do you see the logic? अगर एक object is less dense than the fluid, then वो उसके ऊपर बहुत buoyant force लगता है. We see that it floats. Float क्यों करता है? क्योंकि उसका buoyant force is greater than gravitation force. And according to Archimedes principle, ये जो buoyant force acting है, it is equal to the weight of the fluid displaced by it. Which means अगर buoyant force इतना high है, तो इसने जितना water displace किया, इधर तक आ गया, for example, that is high. It is higher than, for example, the iron nail. Iron nail के ऊपर buoyant force बहुत कम लगा because it was very dense. Therefore, the water that was displaced by the iron nail is much lower. Do you see the point? So that was his logic. उसका यही logic था कि अगर मैं ज़्यादा dense चीज़ पानी में डालूंगा, तो कम पानी displace होगा. So that is what he thought कि this is how I am going to calculate the purity of the object. And how did he do that? What he did was, he took some water. He took 1 kg of absolutely pure gold, purest form of gold, एकदम pure gold लिया उसने, 1 kg of gold, and he took he took 1 kg of gold. He took 1 kg of silver, which could have been the contamination, है जो मिलावट थी, whatever was added to the crown, right, would have been, for example, silver. So he took and he compared the amount of water displaced by both of these. Now you have to remember that gold is denser than silver. So therefore gold displaced less water, right? And silver displaced more water. There is also another logic to it कि gold की डेंसिटी ज्यादा है तो 1 kg ऑफ गोल्ड विल ओनली अपीयर लाइक छोटा सा, इतना सा, बिकॉज डेंस है तो इट इज कॉन्सेंट्रेटेड मास, है ना. द वॉल्यूम इज लोअर फॉर 1 kg. सिंपल लॉजिक है, मास अपॉन वॉल्यूम. सो मास दोनों का 1 kg है, तो डेंसिटी गोल्ड की हाई है, इसका मतलब वॉल्यूम कम हुआ ना, एंड सिल्वर की डेंसिटी कम है, इसका मतलब वॉल्यूम ज्यादा हुआ. सो दैट इज व्हाट ही सॉ कि जब वॉल्यूम ज्यादा है सिल्वर का इतना बड़ा होगा, फॉर एग्जांपल वॉल्यूम फॉर 1 kg. So he said that a piece of gold weighing a certain amount would be smaller than the piece of silver weighing the same, है ना, डेंसिटी ज्यादा है. तो अगर अगर एक गोल्डस्मिथ ने, अगर उसने क्राउन बनाते हुए गोल्ड की जगह उतना ही वेट सिल्वर का डाल दिया, तो अब वे करके नहीं आप उसको चेंज कर सकते. यू कैनॉट सी बिकॉज इट इज द सेम वेट, सेम मास डाला है. एक केजी गोल्ड निकाल के 1 kg सिल्वर डाला है उसने. So you cannot really say, you can just say, okay, it is 1 kg. How do I know what it is? But the volume of that 1 kg silver will be higher than the volume of the 1 kg gold, right? And उसके वजह से the density being lower, this crown, a crown made up of pure gold compared to the crown given by the king or that is contaminated, will displace less water. Because the density of gold is higher, then the crown will displace, pure gold का जो crown है, that will displace less water than a crown that is made up of different kinds of metals, including one which is less dense. ठीक है. So उसने ऐसे ही किया. What he did was he took इससे उसने पानी भरा and he took 1 kg of gold. सेम पानी भरा, 1 kg of gold लिया उसने, 1 kg सिल्वर लिया, and he took that crown which also apparently weighed 1 kg. तो उसने क्या किया, उसने पानी कितना डिस्प्लेस हुआ वो देखा, पूरा भरा हुआ था एक्चुअली, and he put 1 kg gold and he saw how much water was displaced. He took 1 kg silver and he saw how much water was displaced, and he took that 1 kg crown and he saw how much water was displaced. Apparently what he found was ये जो crown है, it displaced more water than the 1 kg gold and less than 1 kg silver, which means that the density of the crown was somewhere between that of the gold and between the silver, which means it was a mixture. Agar pure gold hota, then it would have displaced an equal amount of water as that of the gold of 1 kg gold, but that didn't happen. So he found कि वो crown जो था वो pure नहीं था. This is apparently what happened. We don't really know what exactly happened, but this is given in the stories. So this is what happened. So that is how he found the purity of the gold in a crown made for the king. So Archimedes principle has many applications. It is used to design ships, because if you make something less dense, it will float, right? So ship को less dense बनाते हैं. How do they do that? They generally have, it's a lot of water, na? It's a lot of the mass of the ship is really high and it has to be given an aerodynamic shape. ऐसे नहीं है कि आप उसका surface area बढ़ा तो it will be less dense. You can't even do that, because it has to be, the ship has to be made a certain way in order to पानी के ऊपर जाने के लिए, it has to be an aerodynamic shape. So this has to give less opposite force to the, it has to oppose the force of the water less. ठीक है, तो इसलिए उसको एक एरोडायनेमिक शेप भी देना पड़ता है. सो व्हाट दे डू इज दे जनरली मेक इट स्लाइटली, आप उसको ना एयर फिल कर देते हैं सर्टेन चेंबर्स वेयर इट इज एम्प्टी, राइट, दैट इज टू इंक्रीज द amount of air and to make it less dense. The ship is made less dense. Okay, submarines का भी वही है. Submarines को भी नीचे डालने के लिए या ऊपर आने के लिए you change the density. It is also used to find the purity of milk samples or to find the density of a liquid. ये again milk is very dense. अगर उसमें पानी मिलाते हो, पानी की डेंसिटी कम होती है, so the density of the fluid reduces, the total density of the adulterated milk reduces and pure milk has higher density. इसीलिए that is how you can find the purity of milk sample using Archimedes principle, and also you can find the density of some fluid. ठीक है, I hope you have understood this. So now we come to this important thing, relative density. Which density of an object is mass per unit volume, and the SI unit you know is kilogram per meter cube. Huh? So you know, okay, where mass ka unit is kilogram and volume is meter cube. This can also sometimes be grams per centimeter cube, but this is the SI unit, okay, kilogram per meter cube. Density of a given object remains constant under specified conditions. Density doesn't change unless you are changing the volume. Mass तो same ही रहेगा unless you are removing some part of it. But density of an object is a constant. So that is a characteristic property. For example, water की density is at a certain given temperature and a given pressure. At constant pressure and temperature, the density of water remains constant. Okay? So it is a characteristic property of the substance. But density is different for different objects. Now, for example, density of gold is 19,300 kilogram per meter cube, whereas density of water is 1,000 kilogram per meter cube. This is also 1 gram per. Okay. So there you see that density of gold is much higher than that of density of water. So gold will always sink in water. Density of a given sample of a substance helps us find its purity, like I told you how Archimedes did. It is convenient to express density in comparison with that of water. Because water का हमने 1000 या 1 gram per centimeter cube लिया है, इसलिए it is easy to find the relative density. It is the ratio of absolute density of the object to that of water. ठीक है? Density of substance upon density of water, or density of any fluid in this case. But we talk about water because that is the fluid that we generally use. So आपने यही देखा कि relative density के ऊपर buoyant force यानी object sink करेगा या float करेगा depends on the relative density. So if the density of the fluid increases, अगर हमने density of mercury लिया, it's very high, right? Therefore the relative density, keeping the density of the substance same substance लिया, अगर density of water and density of mercury को compare करें, mercury has a much higher density. So relative density of the substance decreases when that object is placed in mercury. Therefore, since the density decreases, the buoyant force acting is higher, and therefore an object that is denser than water may be less dense than mercury, and then that same object will sink in water, whereas that same object will float in mercury. Okay. So this is an example that is given in your book. Relative density of silver is 10.8. The density of water is 1000 kilogram per meter cube. What is the density of silver in SI unit? You know, relative density has been given to you, right? Relative density doesn't have any units. Relative density doesn't have any units because it is a ratio. Ratios don't have units. So relative density is equal to density of silver upon density of water. It is given 10.8 is equal to density of silver upon that of water is 1000. Right? So you just add and then you multiply these and then you get the density of silver. Again, you can see this is 10800 and this is lower than that of gold. So जैसे आर्किमिडीज ने किया था ना कंटामिनेशन देखने, एडल्टरेशन देखने के लिए. So these are some questions. In what direction does the buoyant force on an object immersed in a liquid act? It acts in the upward direction. Simple logic. Upthrust कहते हैं उसको. Why does a block of plastic released underwater come up to the surface? Released underwater यानी आपने किसी force से उसको पानी के अंदर डाला था. It comes up to the surface. Why? There are two ways you can say this. Relative density of plastic is higher, of the block of plastic is lower than that of water, and therefore buoyant force acting on this plastic is high. Therefore buoyant force acting on the object is higher than G, therefore it floats on water. Okay. Alright. The volume of 50 gram of substance is 20 centimeter cube. If the density of water is 1 gram per centimeter cube, will the substance float or sink? Simple hai. If an object is denser than water, it will sink. If the object is lighter than water, it will float. Denser hai. So iska humne, what we'll do, we'll find the density 50 upon 20, 2.5 gram per centimeter cube. Right? This is higher than this, therefore the object will sink. Okay. The volume of a 500 gram sealed packet is 350 centimeter cube. Will the packet float or sink in water if the density of water is 1 gram per centimeter cube? आपको एक simple logic है इसमें भी. If you see this in question 1 also and 2 also, this and this, when the mass is higher than that of volume, then the density is higher, magnitude of mass is greater than the value of volume. The value of mass is greater than value of volume, therefore the density is higher. ना simple है fraction का, numerator is greater than denominator, है ना? So then of course you can easily see that it is higher, it will sink. You should calculate this. You should say कि mass is equal to 500 gram and volume is equal to 350 centimeter cube. Therefore you find rho is 500 upon 350, 4 to something. So this is higher than that of water, so it will sink in water. Okay. What will be the mass of water displaced by this packet? This also you can find using this formula, rho is equal to mass upon volume. Okay. So mass of water displaced is density of water into volume of object. Okay. Archimedes principle का ये थोड़ा उल्टा version है, where mass of water displaced is equal to density of water into volume of the object. Therefore mass of the water displaced is equal to density of water is 1 and to 350, therefore it is 350 gram. This is the water that is displaced. ठीक है? Understand this? ठीक है? What will be the mass of water displaced by this packet? Mass of this water displaced is the density of the fluid. Mass of fluid displaced is density of fluid into volume of the object that is put on it. Density of the fluid into volume of object that is put on it. ठीक है? चलो. So what have we learned? We have learned that all objects experience a force of buoyancy when they are immersed in a fluid. Objects that have less density than that of liquid in which they are immersed float. And if the density of the object is more than that of the liquid in which it is immersed, object sinks. Relative density देखते हैं. Relative density अगर पानी से ज़्यादा है, then if relative density is greater than 1, हमने वो देखा relative density is density of substance upon density of water. In this case water ही ले रहे हैं. ठीक है? This is relative density. So if these both are equal, then it becomes 1. If density of substance is higher, then it is greater than 1. So when relative density is greater than 1, then the object sinks. If relative density is lower than 1, which means the density of substance is less than that of water, then the object will float. Okay. Archimedes' principle states that the upward force acting on an object is equal to the weight of the fluid displaced by it. है ना? Buoyant force is equal to the weight of the fluid displaced by it. It is proportional to the volume of an object. Greater the volume, greater the fluid displaced by it. ठीक है? We saw that, right? We saw greater the volume, greater the fluid displaced by it. हमने देखा ना, mass of water, density into volume of object, it is directly proportional, because density of the object is, density of the fluid is characteristic property is generally constant पकड़ते हैं हम at ideal temperature and pressure. So therefore mass of the fluid displaced is directly proportional to the volume of the object. Relative density is density of a substance divided by density of water. Okay, so this is what we have learned in this part. Please watch part 4 for numericals. We have solved the numericals given at the back of your chapter, and those are very important. Again, you can be asked all those numericals in your exams. You can also be asked theoretical questions. Please remember these things. Okay, density of object lower than density of water, it will float. Density of object greater than that of water, it will sink. Density of object lower than that of water, it floats because buoyant force is higher, which means it is displacing more water. The mass or the weight of the fluid that is displaced by an object depends on the volume. Okay, chalo. So I hope if you like this video, please give us a thumbs up. Please write us a comment if you like it, if you don't like something. Okay, if you like this video, share it with your friends. Please subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon so that you get notified every time we upload new videos. I'll see you in the next part. For now, bye.